At the cheaper end of the most expensive cars comes the Aston Martin Valkyrie. In recent times, the UK carmaker has unveiled several high-performance machines. None yet are quite as focused as this one. Under the composite body lays a hybrid-assisted Cosworth V12 engine, kicking out a combined 1,139 horsepower. But it's the bits tucked out of sight that make the Valkyrie so special. Go faster F1 Cars systems add to the drivability and explosive performance. But it's the bits tucked out of sight that make the Valkyrie so special. Go faster F1 Cars systems add to the drivability and explosive performance. Fast and furious, more like the fastest and, for a time, the most expensive production car. The Hypersport's reputation for speed is well deserved, with a claim to 145 miles per hour top speed. That stunning performance comes courtesy of a rough Porsche engine cranking out 740 horsepower. As for the price, despite being an unknown, W Motors perfectly judged the market, combining performance with exclusivity. Just 7 Hypersports exist. Many gearheads think the Lycan is of Middle East origins, but in reality, the Hypersport is an international affair. Both the engine and body come from Germany, all coming together for final assembly in Italy.
Oh, Jordan.
Oh, has he? Oh, yeah.
Oh dear. Oh no, just quit. What's the wankers? You're back up and running, but it's just stopped.
The McLaren Solus GT promises to deliver F1 levels of speed and grip for a cool $3.5 million asking price. A bargain compared to the insane figures F1 racing costs. So, what's the catch? Well, there are a few. The Solus GT is a single-seater, removing the chance to scare passengers witless using the 5.2-liter V10 engine's 829 horsepower. Perhaps the biggest drawback is the car's road-legal status. Buying one of these requires access to a track whenever you're in the mood for some adrenaline-pumping action, possibly with deeper pockets and a trip to McLaren's MSO division. Someone might come up with a fix. Build it, and buyers will flock in their droves to splash out $3.65 million. Koenigsegg designed the CC850 as a birthday gift to owner Christian von Koenigsegg, limiting numbers to 50 cars. But demand for the fast suite outstripped supply, encouraging Koenigsegg to extend production. Call us cynics, but we suspect the extra $70 million in revenues might have played a part. How fast and powerful from here on in gets a little hazy. Running different fuels yields different figures. Buyers with access to E85 get the full 1,366 horsepower versus 1,189 horsepower on regular pump gas. Either way, the CC850 is on target for a top speed beyond 280 miles per hour. The Raging Bull badge has adorned some of the fastest and most expensive road cars in the past 60 years. Like every other supercar maker, the more outrageous and exclusive, the higher the sticker price. Launched in 2013, the Veneno is no exception. First appearing as a coupe and then a roadster, oddly for Lamborghini. The follow-up roadster exists in larger numbers, not that 13 cars are plentiful. As for pricing, $1 per million is all you need to join the Veneno club. Crazily, the Veneno is nothing more than a redressed Aventador with more slats and grillies added on for good measure. As for the legendary V12 engine, the Veneno in both bodies boasts a 6.5-liter of naturally aspirated goodness, cranking out 740 horsepower. The world's first ultracar, maybe. Despite the self-proclaimed niche title, SP Automotive Chaos certainly lives up to its name, more so if you opt for the range-topping model with an incredible 3,065 horsepower from a 4-liter turbocharged V10. Naturally, the more power you crave, the deeper your pockets need to be. Listed for $6.4 million for the base model, prices stretch to an eye-watering $14.4 million. The question you should be asking yourself is, do I really need 3,000 horsepower? After all, there is only so much grip the sticky rear tires can handle. And if grip wasn't an issue, surely a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 1.9 seconds should get your pulse racing. Just in case you're wondering, the Chaos Gravity Edition reduces this figure to 1.55 seconds. A worrying trend in Pagani's model lineup, past and present, is knowing when to end production, starting with the Zonda. Final edition after final edition emerged, accompanied by bigger prices. In 2022, Pagani was at it again, offering the limited edition Codalunga as a final hurrah of the Huayra. Weirdly, for the Codalunga, Horacio Pagani paid homage to the Porsche 917. Squint a little and maybe you'll see the influences. Cosmetic changes aside, the $7.4 million asking price bags you the same turbocharged V12 as the Huayra. This means any performance gains are solely due to a more slippery shape, rather than an increase on the 840 horsepower you got in the Huayra. In a who's who lineup of expensive cars, there are several Bugatti candidates, yet sitting at the top of the pile is the one-of-one La Voiture, built to commemorate Bugatti's racing heritage, and particular, the Type 57 SC driven by Jean Bugatti. The new black car debuted in 2019 with a list price of $12.8 million plus undisclosed taxes. Eagle-eyed gearheads will spot La Voiture is closely related to the Chiron. That close connection includes the chassis, drivetrain, and much of the bodywork. It's only the revised light clusters that sets this apart from its cheaper siblings. Worse still, the W16 8-liter engine remains unchanged and cranks out 1,500 horsepower. The finest motor cars in the world were how Henry Rolls and Rolls-Royce promoted their first cars. Now more than a century later, and the brand has taken another step toward being the best car ever. Unveiled in 2021, the RollsRoyce Boattail is the stuff of dreams, with an asking price of $28 million. The question you have to ask yourself is it worth it? If exclusivity is your thing, then it's a resounding yes. Rolls-Royce produced just 2 examples. Justifying the asking price comes with the most luxuriously appointed convertible bodies ever. You are unlikely to mistake the Boattail for anything else. Weighed down by acres of wood and leather, you would think speed was the last thing Rolls-Royce considered, but despite its bulk, thanks to a turbocharged V12, the Boattail reaches 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds. Rarity sells cars like hotcakes. The chance of owning something few other gearheads can also own increase their value. In the new car market, million-dollar rides are becoming increasingly popular, but it is older cars where record-breaking prices reach record levels. The Mercedes 300 SLR is recognizable the world over for its race car-inspired design and gull-wing doors. This example is different, while the 300 SLR story is well known. Attracting collectors of all ages, 2 of the original 9 cars are even rarer. This duo never left Mercedes, one of which became the personal car of designer Rudolf Uhlenhaut. Is it worth $143 million? We'll let you decide, but remember there are nations whose GDP is smaller. If you'd like to see more of this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video.